this is a good place for me to start. So the first, I have a few things on my agenda. Just so you guys know, I want to talk about the WAR in Venezuela, Greenland, and now Iran. Whoa, surprise, right? Surprise, right? We just happen to be now about to go to war with Iran, right? So the first thing I want to start is when this wave of incidents Trump has gotten us into, right? So I was in Ghana and I was in Ghana because I spent 2 weeks in Ghana, and I was in Ghana when I checked my social media and saw that Trump had kidnapped Maduro. I said, "Oh my God, a foreign, the president of Venezuela, we have him on his way to America to face American charges." Trump, what? How is it possible that our president of the United States, let's play role play. Our president of the United States is charged with a crime in Venezuela. And Venezuela came into the United States, arrested our president, and flew him to their country to face charges. Right? Right? This is what the IC what this is what the IC what's the International Justice Court? This is what they need to do to Benjamin Netanyahu. They need to that's what they need to do, a full-on operation. Look, let me stop if I get kicked out of TikTok. Not TikTok, Instagram, my bad. So so now Manduro is in New York jail facing federal charges for what I hear, mass destruction, having possession of mass destruction, which is ridiculous because he's the president of Venezuela. Of course, he has weapons. He has an army. But we all know this is about oil. We know this is about oil. What Chappelle? That skit from the Chappelle show when he was like, "What you talking about oil? What you cooking? What you doing? You cooking? Okay, boom, boom, right? Was that who he? Was that who he bombed New Year's? Yes. He he bombed another country and stole a president, y'all. Y'all ain't talking about that enough. And then they want, like, the United States can do stuff like that, and then they want us to get up and go to work. It's insane. Anyway, right? Then once he got Maduro in custody, right? Maduro go Venezuela is old news. Now he's trying to take Greenland from the Europeans. Oh, when I mean to tell you, Trump embarrassed the Europeans. The European countries, he embarrassed them. I don't really think Trump likes them. Wait, and I don't think Trump respects them because they don't have militaries. All they have is nuclear weapons that they can launch if you try to invade them, right? They don't really have an army. Not an army to go against no other country. You know what I mean? So they ain't got an army. They rely on the United States government to provide them with security, and I don't think Trump respects that. I think Trump's believe that if you have a country, you need to have your own military, especially if you want to fight in this game, being involved in this TERROR that we have going on in the world, right? I ain't got that. And as much chaos as we cause throughout the world, we go through starting wars. But the Europeans, they want the United States soldiers to go out there and DIE for their causes. I don't think Trump respects that. And Trump is like, ain't no American. I'm kind of shocked there because I never thought that they really cared about that. Um, I think when it comes to the Europeans, they're not willing to sacrifice United States soldiers, but I do think that they would sacrifice them for that Middle Eastern country that we can't talk about. They would sacrifice our men lives anyway. We talking about Greenland, right? We talking about Greenland. So Trump basically threatened to go to war with the Europeans to take Greenland. What they gonna do? What they gonna do if Trump walked over there into Europe and said we taking Greenland? You know what they did? They stopped trading with the states. I bet they already started back trading with the states. They can't survive without the United States. They can't even survive without Africa. You see France is going down to the what I mean to tell you, that's why France is trying to get them African presidents up out of there, baby. We rely on y'all. We need y'all to survive. You can't be cutting off. You can't allow us not to. You cannot not let us steal. We rely on stealing from you to be able to boost to pay for our country. We rely on y'all. We rely on stealing from y'all so that we can pay for our country because we can't survive on our own. So we have to steal from African countries to survive, right? So you have 3 African countries that have kicked France out. They about to collapse. So, and I think France got the best army out of all of them. And they ain't really got no army. They ain't ready for no smoke. That's why when Burkina Faso said get up out of here, they said we out. They ain't got no army. Anyway, um, I don't think the Germans want to fight for Germany. Germany's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. If say for example, if you need me to provide, like I'm a country, right? And you a country, right? You cannot provide your own gas, right? So you rely on your neighboring country to supply you with gas for your citizens, right? Because you need that, right? As a country, right? You got to be able to have consistent gas to your country, and my neighboring country is gonna build a pipeline to make through the ground and make sure that I get it, right? Right. So say for example, and they got me and they paying and we built the pipeline or we was building the pipeline and and they was giving me a good deal because they get it for cheap. They get the most out of whatever it is. What they naturally provide, they sell it at a very low cost. They have a big margin. So they got room to negotiate with you and they're willing to do it because they want good relations with you, right? Right? Why would you then go uh in a because you're a part of this, because I'm a part of this clique, right? Even though my country need gas, I'm a part of this clique who wants to fight my neighboring country, right? They want to fight them. So what I'm going to participate in, I'm going to let the clique that I'm in bomb the pipeline that's providing gas to my country, right? They so pathetic. Why would they do that now? They're buying this expensive as required gas, right? That's the example we're using. They're using this expensive ass gas and it's bankrupting their country because they're part of this clique, right? They want to fight with their country, knowing they can't fight. Let's talk about that. Isn't it weird that we don't hear nothing about the Ukraine war no more? What I mean to tell y'all, we have to stop watching mainstream. If you watch CNN, NBC, NSBC, whatever it is, or Fox News um for your news, and don't just read headlines. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. So yeah, so I don't think Trump really respects them as a country, and that's why I think that he's bold enough to threaten to take their land. Like that was wild. We fought independent. Let me remove myself. When I say we, I mean white people. It does not include Black Americans. We do not participate in their system, right? So we as a no them, right? Because I don't black I don't like to consider myself American. I don't want to give other people around the world the I don't want to give them the perception that these uh the majority in this country, that they allow us to participate. Just no, they are have very much kept the wealth away from us, right? So I don't, cause I we don't we didn't fight Britain for our freedom. Not black people. We had to fight these people that we're forced to live with for our freedom, right? We didn't have to fight Britain for our freedom. We had to fight the United States for our freedom. So I don't really like to associate myself with them for real. Not for real. Not for real. I realize that I am privileged in that way, that I was born in the States, and especially now that all this immigration stuff is going on, I think black people have a privilege in that way, but I think a privilege in that way, especially considering people who live outside the States, they think it's a very good privilege to be born in the States. But I don't want you to be confused and think that America is this inclusive place. It's not. That's the perception. It has not allowed black people to participate. Not in large number. They'll let a few of us, the best out of us, to participate. But the average black person in America is not doing well. And they manage how far we get and how many of us gets there. Like I said, it was 40 million of us, and only 10 million of us are doing well, and the other 430 is living in poverty. Are you doing well? Right? Right? We last in everything, and we're first. When it's a bad when it's a bad thing, we're the first. And when it's a good thing, we're the last. Right? And they want us to shut up about it, right? Don't complain. I was on my friend live this morning, and I it's so crazy to me. Like don't think that I think they want I was just saying that um uh that us as black people, they want us to be a part of this group, the Democrats. They want us to be a part of this group called people of color. And everybody else in the people of color group gets something out of being what we call a consider a minority, except for black people. And when you advocate for it, when you say they need to do something for black people, everyone else has gotten something from the Democrats, and they consistently get something from the Democrats. When black people try to stand up and say we want the Democrats to do something specifically for us like they do for other groups, that they the other people in the people of color group, they gonna do everything down to say you can't ask for nothing. It's amazing to me. um it's amazing to me, especially in the way you get them is ask them about reparations for black people. You will be shocked at the people who have received reparations in America fighting against black people getting reparations from America, knowing that we went through the greatest, or one of the top, arguably the greatest atrocities in America. And the thing is, we're the only group that hasn't received anything from the government as a result of our atrocities and how we got here and how long they had us in captivity. And then the other thing is how you guys are still oppressing us today. See, it's just not slave reparations. It's gonna be the slave reparations, it's gonna be the lynching reparations, it's gonna be the systematic racism that they have on black people. It's gonna be for destroying our Wall Streets that we put all throughout the South for black people, that was arguably outpacing the federal government, and that's why they allow uh, other races to bomb our Wall Streets to make sure that we wasn't building wealth among us, and then tearing down what we built coming out of slavery, then segregating us and not allowing us to participate in this society, and then for you saying yes, we're gonna allow you to participate, and we're gonna allow all these other minority people to participate, and now we don't want to do nothing else for y'all, even though we were the ones fighting for all the other groups to get, well, that's the way they put it. It really was us arguing for us, but they say, of course not. We ain't finna do nothing just for y'all. We're gonna invite all these other groups. And now these other groups are on board with the Democrats now. They are on board with them and they ready to ride for the Democrats, but they get something further from the Democrats for their vote. Black people ain't allowed to ask for nothing from the Democrats. And then what's so messed up about the liberals is that you would be talking to them about ideas and what you want to see from the Democrats in order to get their vote. Like these other groups would be like, y'all don't need to ask for nothing while they get something. Like it's completely unfair, and I mean I don't understand why. I just hate that. I understand that there is a growing trend amongst black people that they're not going to vote for Democrats. I don't think it's big enough. 98% of black women voted for a Kamala ass. That is terrible. That means that we're still on the Democratic plantation. That means that we haven't learned shit from Obama. Obama got in office and did something for everybody else for black people. And then you look at black people say, well, can we get something? And they be like, hell, them other groups, hell no. How dare you ask for something? How dare you ask for something while they sit back and receive stuff for their benefits, in their communities? It's just crazy to me. Like, that's crazy. How did I get on that? I forgot. Um, Both of them are terrible at international policy. I'm learning that. Um, but the United States is oh my God. When I mean it to you, what it really is that these people in power are selling us out to the highest bidder. And the way I think they look at it is, they look at it as, well, it ain't my money I'm giving away. I'm taking the taxpaying dollars. People who work and stuff like us, we're stealing from them. We're not stealing from, um, we're stealing from them. But it's not coming out of our pockets, right? So if I write, so me as a country, and if me, I'm country, let's say for example, I'm Argentina, and I got a friend Colombia, right? I got a friend Colombia, right? If I say for example, if and we both officials, right? No. My friend owns a fighter jet. I got a friend who owns a fighter jet, and then I got Colombia, right? So and me and Colombia, we allies, right? So I'm talking to um my friend about how I need some fight. My friend is talking to me about how she needs some fighter jets, right? And I'm like, oh, I got a homeboy who make them and manufacture them, and um what I'll do is I'll sell them to you. I'll agree to provide them for you. If you give me $5 million in my campaign when I'm trying to run for office, when I get in there, I'm gonna sign a deal, a contract with my friend who make fighter jets, where I'm gonna pay for you to get. I'm gonna pay you to get fighter jets because you need them, and we gonna make the taxpayers pay for it, right? That may be a $10 billion choice. You saw Trump just gave that Middle Eastern country that we can't talk about $8.6 billion for fighter jets. Taxpaying dollars. Taxpaying dollars. Why we sit back and say, oh, we can't pay for food stamps because we gotta buy Colombia's fighter jets. Taxpaying dollars. Which, what did I hear how it worked? They say that they say that they don't even have this money that they giving to Israel. They're borrowing the money from China to pay for the fighter jets. I don't, allegedly. Allegedly. That's how I heard that it works. Is that we not even taking this money out of our account as taxpayers because they've been spent all of our money. Now we are borrowing money from other countries to be able to buy fighter jets for the Middle Eastern country that we can't talk about. Allegedly. That's just what I heard. That's just what I heard. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end it here. It's been 20 minutes. I think that's long enough, right? I think so.